This is High Vibe TV, the uncensored, guided, and community-based video TV network with content recorded and live streamed from the world-famous High Vibe TV studios. High Vibe TV delivers daily, weekly, and special programs focused on astrology, spirituality, history, community, and more. This is not your run-of-the-mill astrology and tarot. This is the future of spirituality, illuminating new ways the collective can step into the dawning of this exciting new dimension. The highest vibe is truth, and the truth always prevails. Download our awesome app on the Apple and Android stores so you don't miss our notifications, with special spiritual insights curated to the energy of the universe. Search for us on your TV with our exciting TV apps on Apple TV and Roku. Catch our vibe on your computer, where you can join in on the live chat with our amazing community and blog. Watch spirituality like you've never seen before. Download our apps or go to highvibe.tv. Subscribe now.
Brittany Greiner, because people are getting upset that we haven't talked about this
I know,
yet.
yeah, and that was actually the one story I was the most pissed at.
Right, so she's already landed back on US soil. I've got, I can play this. I haven't watched it, obviously. But she's landed back on...
She's in Abu Dhabi right now.
No, so she's back on US...
Oh, she's on US soil, but they did it in Abu Dhabi.
All right, so we don't need to watch the ad. So it's saying she's back on US soil for the first time in 10 months after she was released from Russian custody in a prisoner swap with the merchant of death, Victor Bout, because that seems like a reasonable swap. A plane carrying the WNBA star landed at the Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio around 5:30 a.m. Eastern time on Friday morning. So this is a paid article, so I can't go any further. But everything that I was looking at on all of this, in terms of looking at who Victor is and knowing that there is a Marine still in prison over in the over in Russia, and he's been in prison over there for 4 years, that just kills me.
Well, the fact that they gave, it's not a fair exchange at all.
No.
I mean, the whole movie Lord of War with Nick Cage was based off Victor Bout. Did you ever see Lord of War?
What do you think?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, I have it so people could see.
Yes?
A lot of people have seen this movie. It's one of my favorite movies too. It's so
it on
good.
Your Apple?
Of course it is.
Okay, what's it called?
Lord of War.
Okay,
It was about Nick Cage being he plays the character. He's where there's a will, there's a weapon, right? Jared Leto's his brother in it. Ethan Hawke is the FBI agent, or actually he's not FBI. He's like fucking higher than, he's like UN fucking shit. But it's all about when like the USSR falls, like he's the one who goes and he gets the generals and shit to give him all the nukes, weapons, whatever, and he exchanges them in Africa, and he doesn't care. He does lines of cocaine, the true story, with gunpowder in Africa. That's what they do. Like, it's fucking, this dude's crazy and sold the most amount of weapons of all time, like illegally around the world. And Biden is all about getting rid of the Second Amendment, yet letting go. So it makes no sense to me. Like, you're going to let go the biggest arms dealer that's ever been caught, right? Like all those kids you saw in Africa with AK-47s, it's because of him.
And not only that, you're fighting for...
All the AK-47s, because they were all Russian.
But not only that, I get that every life is a life, but you're fighting for this WNBA star because she's high profile, all of this. But you're trading this guy for her instead of a Marine that served your freaking country and fought for...
He's not a black lesbian.
Well,
that's what they said. That's what Jean-Pierre said today.
So this is who Victor is. I just brought up Wikipedia. So an entrepreneur and former Soviet military translator. He used multiple companies to smuggle weapons since the collapse of the Soviet Union from Eastern Europe to Africa and the Middle East during the 1990s and early 2000s. Bout gained the nickname the Merchant of Death and Sanctions Buster after British Government Minister Peter Hain read a report to the United Nations in 2003 on Bout's wide-reaching operations, extensive clientele and willingness to bypass embargoes. So in a US sting operation, Bout was arrested on March 6th, 2008 in Thailand on terrorism charges by the Royal Thai Police in cooperation with the American authorities and Interpol. So it obviously goes on, but that's who we got Brittany Greiner back for.
I know, and she broke an actual law,
Yeah.
right, of bringing hash oil, which is illegal in Russia, and we're saving her instead of a Marine who was there. Of course, we can't know the truth because he's saying, of course, like, you know, like obviously he's there for the CIA or one of our intelligence services, undercover, gets caught.
Yep.
Now that would be a fair exchange, but then let's not forget, this is the government that now cares so much about Ukraine and not having Russia win the war, and you just gave the biggest arms dealer in the world back to Russia.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about like the fear of nuclear? This is the guy who could get on his old fucking flip phone from AirTouch, his old Nokia, and find his old contacts. And I you know what, to be honest with you, Nick Cage should do Lord of War 2. I got out.
Right.
I love that movie fucking because he has a beautiful wife. He lives normal. He lived in a way that people would never suspect. That was what was crazy. And he gets caught. Of course, you know that going into the movie because if you know who he was, but it's fucking crazy how, and Nick Cage, that's probably his best movie, to be honest with you. I love that movie. That movie is so, I don't know. And it was weird. I was just talking about the movie on like a show or something about the fucking cocaine and the gunpowder right before even this just happened. It was like weird. I'm like, what the fuck? This is just trippy reality. But I can't believe you would let the biggest arms dealer,
Yeah.
that's Russian, go back to Russia. You know, that's why Putin probably fought for it. And then they're trying to say that Biden wasn't part of the negotiation. Jean-Pierre said, no, it wasn't. Biden didn't talk to Putin. We had other government officials. She didn't even say who. She didn't say it was the State Department. She didn't say it was NSA or CIA or FBI. She didn't say anything.
But she literally reads off whatever they put in front of her. Essentially, Anchorman. That if I know she doesn't work off a teleprompter, but whatever is put in front of her, she says. She never goes off script. Even if you ask her a question, she sort of flutters her eyelids and makes some noises, and then she goes back and rereads what she's already said. And
that Brittany girl doesn't respect America, wanted to in the WNBA, not to have them play the fucking national anthem, hates America, doesn't give a fuck about it. So it's like we saved the person that hates America and we gave the person that hates America that's really great with fucking giving weapons around the world, the biggest fucking arms dealer of all time. That's not government, or maybe he was government. That's the crazy part. Is like, was he actually? Is his real story? Like, that's crazy.
The fact that apparently Russia is this horrible country doing all these terrible things to the Ukraine, and no one's going to deal with them, and yet they've dealt with Russia to get this woman back, but yet they won't deal with them to get Paul back. So I've got an article up. So this is CNN talking about how Paul Whelan has expressed his frustration that more has not been done to secure his release in an exclusive CNN interview. So he said he was happy that Greiner was released, but told CNN, I'm disappointed that more has not been done to secure my release, especially as the 4-year anniversary of my arrest is coming up. I was arrested for a crime that never occurred. He said in a phone call from the penal colony where he's being held in a remote part of Russia, I don't understand why I'm still here. So this interview took place shortly after President Joe Biden, standing alongside Greiner's wife, Sherelle, at the White House, also expressed regret that the US had not been able to get Whelan out, but vowed the US would never give up on him. US officials said that the Russians refused to negotiate his release. This was not a situation where we had a choice of which American to bring home. It was a choice between bringing home one particular American, Brittany Greiner, or bringing home none. A US senior administration official said.
That's not true, actually, though. It was just proven tonight on Tucker Carlson that actually on NBC, one of the reporters actually had gotten the intel like weeks ago when this was going down, that it was they had to choose between Brittany or him.
Well, and I would
and then NBC scrubbed it. How they've been doing that lately. And fucking so then they redid that as the statement, but that's not true.
So I would also like to say it's just bullshit because the Russians would have loved getting Victor back.
Oh, yeah. Throw this picture up, Brian. Fucking... This is an amazing AK-47 that's straight from the USSR and Russia. This is what he did. This is the movie. I love this movie.
But this is what I'm saying. So having him gives the US government leverage. Do not tell me that you couldn't have chosen. The reality is nobody really knew about Paul Whelan until today. For most of us, I didn't know about him. I knew about Brittany because they went on and on and on about it, but I'm also a big believer in when you are traveling to another country, you respect their laws, their traditions, and everything else that comes with it. So you do your research before you go somewhere and you make sure you're not taking contraband. It's like going through an airport. You know you're not allowed to carry knives, so you don't take them.
Get this, I'm looking at his wiki. He was served in the Soviet Armed Forces.
Yeah.
Okay. Then look at this. He's a master of 5 foreign languages: Portuguese, English, French, Arabic, and Farsi. He is reported to be fluent in Esperanto, which he learned at 12. He is thought to have been discharged from the Soviet Army upon its dissolution in 91 with the rank of lieutenant colonel, where he started an air freight business. Other sources state he was major. So he's part of, and he was an operative of the KGB. And he graduated from the Soviet military intelligence program. We just gave them their ultimate fucking dude back. But it's crazy. You know who I really want to know is where's the United Nations talking about this? Like the UN massive security, okay? We're after him, and the biggest fucking worldwide, it wasn't just America. We just ended up catching him, right?
Yeah.
The biggest international worldwide fucking police forces were after this dude. And we happened to then get it. British intelligence was involved. Everybody was involved to try and get this guy. It wasn't just like, oh, the Americans, we just got this little guy and he's just, it was Interpol. If people don't know what Interpol is, right? Because in the movie, they go really into the Interpol. The International Criminal Police Organization was after him. Okay, if you're on Interpol's list, you're like the worst.
Yeah,
okay, of the worst.
Because all the countries are looking for you at this point.
Correct.
Or a lot of them.
It's been around since 1923. It's 99 years old. Interpol was fucking on him. And what do they go against? Transnational crime of terrorism, cybercrime, organized crime, crimes against humanity, child pornography, drug trafficking, political corruption, intellectual property infringement, as well as white-collar crime. You literally, what are all those people that spent their whole lives in the 90s and 2000s trying to find this guy and finally catch him and do it, thinking right now at this moment?
Right.
Because it's like what the fuck?
The whole thing for me is you want to do this prisoner swap, which I don't necessarily think is a great idea, but I get it. And if it brings certain people home and you can release someone, that's not that much of a threat. But this guy, for a basketball player, I cannot wrap my head around it.
A basketball player that doesn't give a fuck about the country, you know, it was...
versus a man that fought for the country.
I thought it was a really funny meme, fucking Don Jr. fucking put up. He's like, well, the world's first big moment for the WNBA trade. the first big WNBA trade. Because like literally nobody gives a fuck about the WNBA, right? So like that's just, nobody watches it. That's just proven through nobody watches it. Nobody goes to the games. Like literally they'll televise a game and there's like 100 people at a whole stadium. Yeah. It's not a thing, right? So like then you have her like trying to fucking say, well, I don't agree with your laws. I'm going to go against them anyway, motherfuckers in Russia. it's just so fucking crazy. To be honest with you, like I said, I will not be surprised if it's been Russia and America on this war with Ukraine and all that, like I've said, and they just are like, here, fucking, you need your dude back? Fuck yeah, we'll use this. It's like she was used in a weird way. And like the way that they showed her 2 weeks ago, like she's in a fucking labor camp now. It was all set up.
Well, they're building camps around the US, but...
Or bio fucking shit at TSA now, fucking, you know. But Brittany fucking could go take cash oil and say fuck you to the Russian government. And honestly, you know what? Nick Cage better do Lord of War 2 and have it be like, his character is so good at it. It'd just be like, I'm back. Like,
right?
Like I'm back. You know, like, and call all of his buddies in Africa and just be like, yo, I need to get loaded up. What's up? I heard North Korea fucking is almost with their nuke program. I heard Iran's almost with their nuke program. What do they need? They need some shit.
Yeah.
Let's go, buddies. Interpol's like gone because of COVID and all these fucking people. It's a fucking free fall right now. Let's go. Like,
how many weapons are in the Ukraine right now?
I know. Oh yeah, exactly.
Amazing. What was left in Afghanistan?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exact. There, and he knows how to speak all the languages.
Right.
People are so. I can't believe how. So that's
there's that.
Yeah.
So.
But I have to. We have to just say one more last time. Jean-Pierre today made it very clear that the reason why she was rescued was because it's so important right now in America to show that we could free an American who is a part of the LGBTQI plus, that's how she said it, community, and a black woman like me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, it's about race? Like, it's about people. It doesn't matter race. It's fucking crazy now that if you're this is racism now. If you're black and gay, you get first dibs.
But this is the whole thing.
I'm like, that's crazy.
All of us here at the studio, and I know I can say this without checking in with you, we are all about equality for every human being, no matter what color, race, creed, religion that they are when they come through these doors. If you are a good human, you will be welcomed with open arms, and we support everybody. We want everybody to succeed. But right now there is a division in this world, and it's based on sexuality or gender identity and race and all the things. And the reality is something like this should be based on the merits of who deserves to get out. And to me, someone that fought for a country that I love, I know I wasn't born here, but I freaking love this country. I wouldn't have fought so hard to stay here unless I did. I consider this place home, and it breaks my heart that somebody who fought for his freedom as well as ours has been left to rot, while somebody who is being used as a trophy and something to show off is the one that has gained her freedom. I find it so disrespectful to the sacrifice that he made and that every person that served this country before him made. So,
did you know this about Interpol, that it was it was an organization that then was in Venice, that was based and fell under control under Nazi Germany, and the commission's headquarters were eventually moved to Berlin in 1942. Most member states withdrew their support during that period, and then from 1938 to 1945, the presidents of the international community Interpol included all the SS generals. And in 1946, after World War II, the organization was revived as Interpol. Like that's crazy, by officials from Belgium, France, and Scandinavia. Until the 1980s, Interpol did not intervene in the prosecution of Nazi war criminals in accordance with Article 3 of its charter, which prohibited intervention in political matters.
I did not know all of that.
Where's Interpol right now? Where's Interpol right now?
But where are any of the organizations that are meant to be fighting for us, not fighting us?
Like, why, where in the fuck is Interpol right now? Honestly, they're the ones who should be fighting for all the weird shit that's happened right now. And maybe they are secretly. I don't know.
This is High Vibe TV, the uncensored, guided, and community-based video TV network with content recorded and live streamed from the world-famous High Vibe TV studios. High Vibe TV delivers daily, weekly, and special programs focused on astrology, spirituality, history, community, and more. This is not your run-of-the-mill astrology and tarot. This is the future of spirituality, illuminating new ways the collective can step into the dawning of this exciting new dimension. The highest vibe is truth, and the truth always prevails. Download our awesome app on the Apple and Android stores so you don't miss our notifications with special spiritual insights curated to the energy of the universe. Search for us on your TV with our exciting TV apps on Apple TV and Roku. Catch our vibe on your computer, where you can join in on the live chat with our amazing community and blog. Watch spirituality like you've never seen before. Download our apps or go to highvibe.tv. Subscribe now.